tentacle, it's another form, it's another avenue that Wizards is trying to step in and help support the market and pull it up a little bit. And I think it's fine, and I think it's something that I'm not surprised to see done. Um, I don't have much to say about Reflector Mage. I really don't. I'm kind of everybody else has already said it. You can go watch all the other channels. Everybody's talking about the different bans and updates and what cards and their opinion. I don't think everyone's wrong. I don't think everyone's right. I think everyone's kind of in the realm of what's accurate, but we're never really going to know what Wizards' full intention is because they won't disclose it outside the boardroom. But to me, it just feels like they definitely want the public to know we are stepping in to try to help Standard be more diverse and to help people feel better and to help more people show up. I think that's all this comes down to. Whether everybody agrees with Emrakul, the Copter, I mean, Reflector Mage, whatever. Whether you guys agree or disagree with it, I think it's kind of indifferent. I think it's more of a show of force. Um, that's really all I have to say about it. And like I said, Modern, the two bands for Modern, the Probe and the Troll. I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, Modern's in such a shambles. I feel like Modern, like somebody took the whole pot of Modern and just sloshed it around, and it's a mess. That's how I feel Modern is. It doesn't feel organized. Doesn't feel like it's supported. It doesn't feel anything anymore. It just feels like it's just it's just sitting outside in the sun. It's just rotting or something. I don't know. So that's all I really have to say about it. Is Rudy with Alpha Investments. You guys can tell me what you all think. I mean, everyone's going to have their own opinion. It is what it is. I don't think there's really anything majorly right or wrong. But at the end of the day, I think Wizards is just trying to navigate different avenues of just trying to help it. I mean, it's like Castlevania. This legendary-ass game from years ago. One of the best, if not the best Castlevania video game ever created in mankind on this planet. This game is so legendary, I'm surprised it fits in the damn camera right now. And the reason for it? It's because the game is gorgeously engineered. The music, 10 out of 10. The creativity on older school graphics is 10. The game's a perfect 10. And I think Wizards is trying to navigate all the corridors, every avenue they can do, and they're trying to figure out what unique and what outside the box things they can do to support the Standard environment. I mean, that's all it comes down to. They see the weakness. We all see it. I mean, you can go on eBay and get Conspiracy 2 booster boxes for like $79, $80, $82. Stores are just, are not able to make a lot of money besides selling snacks and hosting tournaments. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. And I think Wizards recognizes the importance of trying to go through the labyrinth and figure out some different things. Rudy with Alpha Investments, you guys have a great day. Tell me what y'all think. And I'll talk to you later.
Within the temples, soon they shall bask in my glory. My temple's power has been expended. You are stronger than I believed. Your enemy destroyed the fort. There goes a fort.
Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video from CES 2017. Build your online store or website at the link in the video description. What is it? It's like I got this guy watching me while I try and make my video here. It's weirding me out, but that's okay because nothing can ruin my mood right now. Okay, monitors used to be 60 hertz, and then we got overclocking to like 75, 85. Then we got 120 hertz, night and day difference. Then a couple incremental improvements, 144, 165, and now it's game changing again. And by game, I mean gaming. Oh, yes. This is the ROG Swift PG258Q, the first 240 hertz, 24.5-inch gaming monitor that I have had the pleasure of laying my eyes on. And holy cow, just sitting down and knocking things over and moving the mouse, it is immediately noticeable. And it's not like necessarily some other high refreshment monitors out there, because even without ultra low motion blur enabled, this thing is actually doing pretty darn well in terms of not leaving motion trails behind the cursor. Now, obviously, I don't have it in the lab yet, but I've been informed we will be getting one very soon, but my initial impression is this is freaking impressive. So it features NVIDIA G-Sync technology. You've got DisplayPort in or HDMI in, whichever you prefer, and it's got a built-in USB 3 hub. In terms of the styling, it's what has become kind of the ROG way. So you've got a nice slim bezel, a couple kind of gamery accents, but the most sort of, let's say, gaudy, how you say, of which, the underglow ROG logo thing, you can turn that off in the menu. Now, those of you who are wondering, it does support G-Sync, but the unanimous opinion from the ASUS guys in the room is that the real story here is not necessarily G-Sync, but rather the fact that now, if you turn G-Sync off, you can run ultra-low motion blur all the way up to the full 240 hertz, which is going to give you like super sharp, fast-moving images at an extremely high refresh rate, which is going to be critical for competitive gamers or filthy casuals like me who just like having the best possible experience, even though they suck. It's got the full range of adjustments, and as we're making all these adjustments to the stand, you'll probably notice, yes, this is in fact a TN panel, but I gotta tell you guys, outside of looking at it from the bottom, where really it does look awful, side-to-side viewing angles, very good, and colors, again, just subjectively, I'm just at a show, looking pretty good here. I am super excited about this one. That is to say, as long as I can afford the approximately $500 price tag. I never said the resolution. Okay, hold on, let me think for a second. Did I miss anything else critical? You know what, let's just do a totally awkward shot here. It's a 1080p monitor. I forgot to mention the resolution. Anyway, thanks for checking out our video, you guys. Don't forget to get subscribed to Linus Tech Tips so you don't miss any of our CES coverage, and a huge shout out to Squarespace. I believe there are talking points in my pocket, but come on. Realistically, do I not know how to pitch you guys Squarespace? Squarespace is the place to go if you want to build a beautiful website that works great across a wide variety of devices. Whether you want to view them at 60 hertz on the phone in your pocket or at 240 freaking hertz on the monitor at your desktop. Squarespace has built-in commerce, and it is so easy to use that even I can make changes to our Squarespace website, which is quite an achievement. So check it out. We've got it at the link in the video description. You can get a free trial, and you can save, I believe it's 10%. But I believe it's 10% by using our link down there. Huge shout out to AMD for sponsoring this video from CES 2017. Learn more about their Ryzen processors at the link in the video description. So we rolled into the Seagate booth where they were showing off all kinds of stuff, including their 12 Big from LaCie, which supports up to 120 terabytes of storage over Thunderbolt 3 with Noctua fans cooling it. Man, those guys have good taste. Then we kind of went, come on, you guys, show us the really cool stuff. So we rolled into the big room where they're demoing all kinds of stuff, and I went straight for this. This, my friends, is the as yet unnamed, to my knowledge, 60 terabyte SSD. It's in a 3.5-inch form factor and exists sort of as mostly a technology showcase to show how Seagate has been investing in the R&D to address this many flash drives using some bridge chip technology that they borrowed from SAS. Pretty freaking cool. So naturally, of course, the first thing I wanted to do was open it up and have a look inside, where I found that it's actually a dummy unit. I have told Seagate that I intend to be the first media outlet to preview this thing once I can get my hands on a working one, but unfortunately, this is not that day. So you might ask yourself, what's the anticipated use case of a 60 terabyte SSD? And I actually got some pretty interesting answers, because it's still, by the look of things, not going to be PCI Express based. And so they clearly don't expect it to be really any faster than what you might get from existing SATA or SAS technology. And the answer is, well, look, because there's no flash controller on the market that has enough data paths to address each of those NAND dies individually, or even, a handful of them at a time, this drive is going to deal with more latency and less speed than one of their high-performance drives, like, say, for example, this Nitro 10 gigabyte per second drive that reaches a capacity of 8 terabytes at the moment. That one's going to be a real product pretty soon. No, the use case here is going to be somewhere in between massive, massive arrays of data and high-speed PCI Express-based SSD caches. What this will allow a company like, Facebook, for example, to do is store grandma's pictures that haven't been accessed for over a year on Facebook on a storage medium that is fast enough for people to be hitting them, randomly, pulling up a few photos at a time, and high capacity enough that it's actually feasible to keep things like grandma's photos on it. So you don't have to sit around and wait for a page to load while a hard drive spins up, but Facebook doesn't have to be spending, $4 or $5 per gig on the storage that they're using to store it. I heard pricing numbers thrown around of like $50,000 a drive, but what I'll say is this. If you're the kind of customer who wants one of these, you're the kind of customer who's not just ordering one. So if you bulk at that price point, then you're probably not the intended market. And pricing could be highly variable depending on what kind of NAND flash they're putting in the drive, which would basically be down to the individual customer. So at this point in the video, a fair question might be, Linus, do we really need a 60 terabyte SSD? And the answer is, while I think they are planning to productize this year, maybe not necessarily immediately, but the need is definitely coming. So Seagate projects that in 2019, 1 zettabyte of data will be shipped in that calendar year, with 1.3 zettabytes the following year. I mean, to put that number in perspective, if we take it back down to gigabytes, that's more gigabytes than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth. And this issue of more content creation and needing more and more storage is actually going to get worse. So in that same year, in the 2019-2020 timeframe, they're expecting 600 zettabytes of data to be created to go with that 1.3 zettabytes of storage that will be shipped. So the answer is yes, we do need it, and much sooner than you might probably think. So a huge shout out again to AMD for sponsoring our coverage of CES 2017. Check out the new Vega GPU architecture, which supports a high bandwidth cache at the link in the video description, but we're going to make that easy for you. It's ve.ga, ve.ga. And also be sure to check out After the Uprising on YouTube, which we're going to have linked in the top right corner right there. AMD brought us to the suite here at CES 2017 to prove once and for all that Ryzen is real, it is physical, it is tangible, you can touch it. Well, you can't touch it, but I could touch it because I'm here, as long as I didn't care about like EST shocking it because these floors are carpeted. Not only do they have the couple of systems that I'm going to show you here, but they actually have systems from over a dozen of their partners. Everyone from PC case gear to what the devil is this thing? Whatever it is, it's water cooled, it's red, it looks actually pretty freaking bananas, and the logo's in Chinese. So I'm not going to try too hard to pronounce that one. Anyway, let's get back over here to the demos here. The systems.
Massive and delicious. Yeah, couldn't quite finish it.
So good.
So that was
So good.
That was fun, but yeah. Now I go back.
We were still full from the ramen.
Oh, you had ramen.
Yeah, we had ramen right before we